school one. Good morning, good morning. What's happening, hype stars, unique infusionists? I am Queen Unique Brand Supporters. It is I, y'all. Mm-hmm. Your hostess with the mostest, and sometimes a little bit extra. Y'all know what's happening. And if you don't know, I'm here to tell you. I am Queen Unique, man. Y'all come on in for a second. I miss y'all. I need y'all. So get on in here. Y'all, I came to this park and I thought I was gonna come over here and like get my thoughts out and get away. I was not expecting it to be this many people at this park. Y'all, look how many kids out here. Why these folks ain't in school, y'all? Why these folks ain't in school, y'all? I was not expecting it to be this many people out here. Shout out to whoever came in the building and hit that like button. Thank you so much. I need that support right now. Y'all know how I do. Come on in the building, jump in the chat. Let me know you here so I can show you some love, show your platform some love. But yeah, y'all, look at these people. I was like, why? I was like, why is they out here? Why is so many of them? Y'all know where I was trying to get to. I was trying to get right over there to that good water. And we might still even go, y'all. What's happening? What's happening, y'all? I got the radio going for a second. I know it's been a minute, so I'm just trying to give anybody else who want to come in here, be a support, need an uplift. I'm just trying to give y'all a little time to get in the building because I know it's been a minute, y'all. But I'm here. Yes, I am. Hey, look at the beautiful Sabrina is in the building. Y'all roll out the royal blue carpet. Good morning. She said, happy pre-Halloween day. Girl, happy pre-Halloween. We call it happy Halloween. That is our hashtag every year. So if you don't really celebrate, but you do the turn up, go on tag happy Halloween in the comments, y'all. Shout out to Sabrina. I'm so glad to see you here, Sabrina. I really am. Y'all know I be thankful for my hype stars because y'all be rocking with me, y'all. When I don't be, I don't be coming on the regular no more, y'all. Cause you know you back away from stuff and then life happens, which is what we're gonna talk about today, y'all. Cause I have got to tell y'all something, y'all. Okay, so we got a break in the radio. So y'all, it's getting ready to be how you lean season. And y'all know I love y'all know I call this fallback season. This fallback season. This is where you fall back in love. This is where you harvesting. This is where you getting all cuddly. You falling back in love. Falling back in love with something you love to do. Falling back in love with your craft. Falling back in love with your gift. Falling back in love with your content. Cause the airway just gonna force Queen to be a content creator, y'all. So falling back in love with your content, falling back in love with what you putting out to the world, and making sure that what you bring to the world has purpose. And y'all see, I've been quiet for a long time because y'all know I don't know how to hold my mouth. So I had to fall back in tune with myself, y'all. I had to like start looking at the airwaves in a way such that the stuff that I put out to the world, it's like I put myself into it too much to. Hey, smart boy Sona, shout out to you. Thank you so much, beautiful girl. Thank you. Thank you. But y'all, I put myself so much into this content that y'all know whenever I come outside, I'm coming with my real life and everything that's going along with it. And I had to start taking myself out of other people's content. And what that means for me is whatever people put out, that's their life. That's what they, what I'm saying, going through, that's what they doing, that's what they choose to put on these airwaves. So taking yourself out of someone's content means, for me it means taking you out of my life, whether it be for that season, for that sector, for whatever's going on. But y'all, I had to pull away, and I had to pull away because all of y'all know. Yes, I do free talk, smart boy. Smart boy, when I come to these airwaves, if you go back and choose to follow my page, that would be awesome. We certainly appreciate the support. But you'll see throughout my page, I bring my real life. I'm getting better at bringing, a lot of the extra stuff, but I do free talk. I talk about exactly what's going on right now, what I'm doing, turn up, all that good stuff. We talk about that right here. And this morning, I was led to just come tell the hype stars, like, what's going on, like, if you follow long enough, you will know. Y'all know Mr. What's Happening, y'all, has been out of work for a few months now. He was taken out in March due to a work related injury that happened over a year ago, y'all. So this year we got into the brunt of, his healing, getting the physical therapy done. Following, if you've been following, you know that when he first went to the first set of physical therapy, we thought he was going to go back to work on June the 6th. Upon having that MRI done, y'all, we found out that the injury had gotten worse. He now has fluid buildup on his spine, and he's been dealing with muscle spasms. So where I initially came out of work, y'all, just to be my husband's support, because a home care nurse, y'all, it's expensive. So like the money that we could have been spending in a home care nurse, I chose to take some time off of work, and I decided to be my husband's sole caretaker. We had been through the first nurse. She was a great help to me, learning how I needed to touch my husband, how I needed to massage him, what areas of his pain. So in fallback season, y'all, I have been learning Mr. What's Happening, my husband, in another major way. So we thought that he was, going to be going back to work June 6th. They said, no, we can't send you back. So they turned around and set up the next set of physical therapy, y'all, which will be finally, he actually had his first one on yesterday. So he is home in the bed. I tucked him away all nice and cozy, y'all, before I came over here to talk to y'all about life. I tucked him away all nice and cozy. And he went to his first one yesterday, y'all. And this is the one where now he's getting the needles into his neck. And if y'all know Mr. What's Happening, y'all know that Mr. What's Happening is not, hey V, good morning, boo. Y'all roll out the royal blue carpet. V is in the building. V did it. She was doing it then, and she's still doing it now. But yeah, y'all, he had his first one on yesterday. And y'all know Mr. What's Happening, he don't do needles. So he was not ready for that needle yesterday, y'all. He was not ready for that needle yesterday, y'all. So ultimately, they got all of his paperwork done. They gave him a consultation to just kind of get his mind right, y'all. So when he does come in for that needle, now they rescheduled it till Monday. So they gave him a couple of days to just kind of take it all in. Y'all, I saw Mr. What's Happening cry. And with him crying, I knew that there was something deeper, y'all. So, of course, it's fallback season, so I had to fall back into that wife who now I'm not only learning my husband through his pain, I need to learn him through his healing, because Mr. What's Happening doesn't often drop a tear for me to see. So he looked at me and he said, babe, he said, I can't do this. And I'm going to get into why he's saying he can't do this. He said, babe, he said, I can't do this. He said, I've been getting these emails. V said, tell him it's small, it's to a giant. God bless. Thank you. We're getting ready to get into that, V. He broke down because y'all know when you believe in your husband, when you believe in to the best of your extent, and you trying to live as close to these scriptures in red in that Bible, you know the man is the head. And with our head being out of work, y'all, I'm not going to act like it ain't been tough. And then y'all heard me say I came out of work to be his sole caretaker. With coming out of work, you only get a certain set of benefits for what you're able to do. And I need to do that for my husband. So, of course, those areas. But y'all, Mr. What's Happening wants to go back to work. His employer, who initially has not been very supportive of him being out of work, they finally agreed to some light duty, y'all. Light duty comes with lifting less than 5 pounds, not being able to sit or stand for more than 30 minutes at a time. There's a certain type of equipment or chair that he would possibly use to just give him back support. A number of I don't like to call it like the handicap accessible, but they would have to give him like amenities, things that would help him get through to work. And I don't know if I like it, y'all. Mm-mm-mm. And that's why I came here, because I want to bring you life. They saying add a Q and A sticker. So we not gonna add a Q and A sticker. Somebody got questions, y'all feel free to drop them in there as I go throughout what fallback season has been like for the royal family over here. Um, but yeah, y'all, I don't know if I like it. And even though it's extra tough, like I'm loving, honestly, the part of being able to get into my craft. Behind the scenes, I have been working on my channel. If y'all over there on Instagram, and I got some new shorts out, y'all. So y'all see, I've been working. I love being in a place where I can get into my craft, get into my husband, get into my family, y'all. But I don't know if I want him to do that. What prompted his decision, y'all, is because he's been under a lot of stress. One of the major things that he's dealing with are the muscles and the tendons in his neck. The beautiful Mrs. Ashley Chats is in the motherfucking building. Y'all roll out the royal blue carpet. Good morning, Mrs. Chats. How are you, my love? B says, God bless you and your family. Y'all foundation is solid and strong. Period. Clock it. But yeah, one of the things that prompted y'all his decision, and it's something that the whole world is going through, which again, we started at me taking myself out of the content, y'all, but I got to give it to you in context. I have seen you live and forever. Absolutely, man. It's fall bad season, Mrs. Chats. You know, I'm in the lab, in the bed, learning my husband, all that good stuff. But I'm here to talk about it today, y'all. But one of the things that prompted his decision to go back, even in all of his pain, is because of his stress. Stress takes a toll on our muscles, y'all. So he wanted to relieve his stress. And the doctor is kind of, with these restrictions saying, okay, if going back to work will take the stress off of this man's head of he want to be able to support his family, y'all. We got a son in college. We got, oh, y'all, some quick tea. Ooh, we got a 20-year-old son that's now dating, and we have met her, y'all. It's a whole lot going on. But Mr. What's happening with supporting his family, y'all know for everybody right now in the world, we're facing a government shutdown. We are in the midst. We ain't facing it. We are in the midst of a government shutdown. I saw a video, I think it was on Instagram, and I'm not sure if it was the person who made the initial post or if somebody had shared it, but I saw something where there were people actually cheering for EBT to be shut off, and they were going to war. Well, not really going to war, but going to war in the comments, y'all. Just going to back and forth with each other about who deserves to have EBT, who deserves to eat for Thanksgiving. Like, I call it cyber profiling, y'all. Where just because you know somebody got something or is using a Section 8, a EBT or something, people automatically target that with low income, low like all of this. Y'all, so I gotta be honest. Y'all know I gotta be honest. This family, and I've never been secretive about it. If you have followed this platform from the beginning, you will know that this family is one of the families that, I'm not going to say survives, but it is definitely a benefit to our family. When we initially had EBT, we weren't getting, I think we were getting like $900, y'all, or something. I want to say it was over, I think it was like over the summer or something. Like, we didn't know how we had got it, y'all, but they gave it to us one day. We seen it on the car. We was like, yo, it's up here. I think it was something for like the summer. But then when the kids went back to school, they cut it off like completely, just like out of nowhere. I really ain't asked no questions because I ain't apply, but hey, I got it anyway. So I didn't say anything. And then y'all know, Mr. What's happening came out of work. When he came out of work, y'all, we needed those benefits again. As of right now, we're still sitting with a balance on our card, y'all, that we don't know if we should use or not by November the 1st, because we don't know whether they're going to take them from anybody. If we're going to be able to use the ones we have up there, or if they're going to completely cut it off. And this is a decision, y'all, that we got to figure out whether we try to go on and run it up right now and try to save or prepare, because this, again, is coming on the back of a head of a household who would rather risk himself to further injury so he doesn't have to worry about the stress of being able to provide for his family. Hype stars, what are we doing? What are we doing, y'all? Y'all see the title. What you gonna do when the community cries? Sitting up here, that's why I've been gone for so long, y'all, because sitting up here looking at these people content, which is ultimately their life, giving your opinion, breaking down other people's situation, what you gonna do about it? Some of us, and myself included, not no more because I've been gone for a little while, but some of us are sitting up here putting out our opinion and what we would do. So I see some of the chats, thousands of people in the chats, and y'all don't even know that your next door neighbor has a household that can potentially crash due to a government shutdown. We got to do better. Ray Love says solution. Follow Jesus. Live a righteous life. Be responsible and work. Give God thanks for everything. Absolutely. Let me see if I can pin that comment. I think I can. I have pinned that comment, y'all. Ashley says, same. I haven't been paid since September, and my husband may not be paid tomorrow. Absolutely. Ashley, I can be honest with y'all. Y'all know that Mr. What's Happening's disability was initially denied the first 2 times, y'all. Look at these babies passing me. I think they going to the bathroom. This might be a school, y'all. I'm gonna try to keep the camera this way so I don't capture nobody else's kids. Oh, this is my daughter's school. These the babies. Y'all, this Tink school out here. It might have been their parade day because ours is tomorrow. Okay, y'all, but Ashley said, same, I have not been paid since September, and my husband may not be paid tomorrow. So I can be honest with y'all. If you were following like this journey when we first started like getting more real about life, Roger's disability had been denied 2 times. So yeah, he had been out of work since March already. He never even received his first payment until August, I believe it was, y'all. And then that was like a certain amount a month. He just received his second one last month, and now he should be waiting on the what would be the third one. Out of all this time he's been out of work, what should be the third one? And he's considering going back to work, y'all, because he don't want to stress about having to support his family in a government shutdown. So hype stars, I just came to be real about life today. There is definitely a lot more coming. There's definitely a lot more coming. I can't really say too much right now because there again, y'all, it's still an open investigation going on a lot of things. But y'all know the hype stars. Y'all know as the hype stars, y'all give me realness. I don't have thousands of people in my chats. I don't have people commenting on my posts and what I put up all the time. But when I hit this live button, what I do have is real people. And I appreciate any time I hit this live button and I bring y'all life. I can ask a wholehearted, genuine question like, what you gonna do about it? Y'all up here talking about everybody else and everything else. And like, for us, y'all, like, we're gonna get into another part because I don't want to get too heavy on this live just because it's the first one back. But y'all, what you gonna do when the community cry? So that brings me to y'all, I just said RJ got a girlfriend. Y'all gotta tell y'all about it. Let me see. Sabrina says, Ashley and Queen, I keep you ladies in my prayers because these are serious hard times. Stay strong. It will surely get better. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're a firm believer in just anything about life, you know when you're down, you can't go down no more. You can only go up. So I receive it. I receive it. Sabrina says, this is real life. Better days are ahead. I trust that. Absolutely. And mine, y'all really are. I'm not going to. They're starting today. Because in a couple of weeks, maybe a month, who knows? Like there's something else that I'll need to drop on my platform, but I can't do that just yet. But right now, here's what fall back season has been like, and going into a case where I don't want my husband, y'all, and I don't know if it sounds like selfish, and y'all can help me with that too. I don't want my husband to go back to work to further injure himself, y'all. I don't. What Sabrina just said, stand on God. I believe in that man, y'all. He ain't let me be homeless yet. He ain't took this family back out to them streets yet. So, y'all, I'm in another whole headspace about that, y'all. But taking care of his family, y'all. RJ is dating, y'all. My baby. My baby, y'all. He's dating. And what's tough, y'all, is watching my 20-year-old now decide to want to bring somebody into his life during, I ain't gonna hold y'all, a government shutdown. You trying to date in a government shutdown and want to be able to supply and support somebody else, y'all. I'm worried for my son. Not saying that the little girl is like a bad girl or anything, but they're just both so young. And I just am honestly opposed to my son bringing on that type of just, and again, now this is airwaves related, so you got to think about what your children see out here on these airwaves, what they know of life, what they seeing. And y'all, like, bringing somebody into your life, having to be the one to support them, make sure you're mentally stable enough to support whatever mental issues that they are having at such a young age. For me, it's the government shutdown. It's the economic division right now that's going on in our government. It's the economic division that's going on in our communities, y'all. And I'm talking about RJ and his girlfriend because, y'all, it's almost time to vote here in our city for our mayor. And back at home in Wilmington, y'all, if you're going way back there to like Facebook, my early Instagram from the port city, y'all, when I was turning up in Carolina and turning up in my city over there, y'all know, back at home, I loved our mayor. Shout out to Mayor Bill Sappho, if he's still the mayor over there. And even if he ain't, shout out to that man. Because that man helped to groom my boys, our family, into what somebody else's state, somebody else's laws. Like, he helped get us there. When I say we had Mr. Sappho be in the community, come to the turn up, came out and watched our boys perform for our city. A mayor that's involved, a mayor that went to church with us, y'all. So it's time to vote here in our city. And I'm kind of, y'all know I live in one of the richest cities in the state of Georgia. I live in Marietta, y'all. One of the richest cities. It's hard over here, especially when you live in life behind your own prayer doors. So it's vote time. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, when it comes to like the voting in our city, we've been here now 5 years, y'all. It's like, okay, we know who the mayor is right now. Like, we came in 5 years, honestly ain't long enough, especially with the struggles that we've had in the what do I want to call it? The aggressions, the minor aggressions that I've had with my own city and things I can do better. I really don't get into all the mayor stuff. Like, yo, if you've been had the city like on lock, you making it to where families can still, even though it's hard, still afford to live. Like, I ain't been on their neck too bad since like 2022 when like COVID was going crazy. But anyway, so it's voting time. And we started seeing these signs in our community. Not many of them, but we started seeing these signs. And the sign said, Sam for Marietta. I was like, well, who is this Sam person? And I was asking Mr. What's happening, like, why are they starting to put these signs out? So he was like, we got somebody, I guess new that's on the board. And it should not matter, y'all. It should not matter that he is a black guy. Black guy. He's only 24 years. Sam Foster, y'all. only 24 years old, young black engineer. When I first saw the signs, that's all I instantly knew. Okay, boom, we got somebody new on the ballot. So I started doing my research, or what I considered, y'all. What I considered was my research. I'm looking at the links, and I'm going to follow the Instagram page. So I'm asking Mr. What's happening, like, baby, all these songs, like, we gotta check him out. Why we ain't been heard about him? Like, November 4th is right around the corner. So why we ain't been heard about him? Why his songs just getting out here? Everybody else has been lining the streets. So boom. Tink says, Mommy, you know him. I said, no, I don't, Tink. I said, I don't know that man. I said, well, not by name, Tink. I said, I don't know him. As this is going on, y'all, we at home. So, like, RJ is coming upstairs. The kids is, like, coming in because, like, they hear me asking these questions. I got questions about these songs they putting out. So, everybody coming upstairs. So, Tink says, Mommy, you know him. I said, no, I don't, Tink. I said, I don't know that man. I said, I don't know nobody named no Sam Foster. She said, Mommy, you remember that day we was in Dollar Tree? And I was like, but Tink, what day we was in Dollar Tree? She was like, you remember that day we had all that stuff? And that ma'am said, I got it, ma'am. And you told him, no, I got it, I got it. Like, y'all, literally, our mayor has paid for one of my orders at Dollar Tree, y'all. Some arts and crafts stuff, y'all. I had a couple of little things up there, y'all. Some glue. Shout out to Mr. Sam Foster for real, y'all. Because I had some glue, I had some glitter, I had some ribbon, y'all. I had my pocketbook going on. I couldn't get my pocketbook open. Shout out to Mrs. Ashley Chats. Because Ashley Chats, it was your bag, the blue one. That I had. And it's a little cube. A lot of stuff ain't supposed to be in there. But y'all, I had my receipts crammed down there. I had money back. I was just taking a little bit longer. And I don't think Mr. Sam Foster, shout out to Sam Foster, I don't think that I was really rushing him or I was really getting on his nerves. But y'all, the kind gesture. So when Tink said, Mama, you remember that man? I said, that's the man. So when I said that, y'all, RJ chimes in and was like, yeah, and Mr. What's that? And they was like, yeah. They was like, and I'm not going to talk about this man's vehicle because he is on the ballot, y'all. Go vote for Sam Foster because I can't tell you what everybody else been saying or where his signs been, y'all, but this man has crossed our family and our paths and touched our lives in ways that I didn't even know of until yesterday. But RJ chimes in, y'all. And he said, yeah, Mommy. He said, he said the guy with it's a certain type of car, y'all. He got 3 wheels. Nice car, y'all. Nice car. He said he stay over there on K-Way. Stay in the neighborhood. I said, wait, who? I said, the man that drove this, and I'm not going to describe his car, y'all, but I said, the guy that drove that car, I said, I thought that was a young guy. And RJ was like, yeah, he is. And then we go back to, it was something that happened in that Dollar Tree, y'all. The police was at Dollar Tree. A whole bunch of stuff was going on. But RJ was like, yeah, the dude at Dollar Tree, but they thought it was his car that was involved in the situation. I was like, the dude that walked up and dapped you. Like, now I'm putting 2 and 2 together, remembering the man who done paid for something at the Dollar Tree register. And now this guy, who I was like, the guy that came up and dapped you, he was like, yeah, that's his car. I was like, that's him? He said, yes, RJ, I thought he was one of your homeboys. I was like, yeah, he technically kind of is, Mom. So, y'all, when I say, sometimes you got to back away from the content. Sometimes you got to back away from other people's life to see how God is really moving in yours. Because, y'all, I had no idea that I had crossed this man. Our family had crossed this man. Knows our children. Stay, y'all, literally right here in the neighborhood. And he's on our ballot for mayor. So another part of this live, I want to say thank you to Mr. Sam because I can't speak for what other impacts he's done in the community because I found out kind of late, y'all. Call it being in everybody else's business. Call it fallback season. Me making sure I can keep my household afloat. But November the 4th, y'all, Marietta, if you out there listening, Sam Foster, I can speak for life. The times that he's crossed my path, he's been a very genuine dude. After doing some more research and looking at the pages, a number of platforms have had very good things to say about Mr. Sam, y'all. And I just want him to know that We didn't know that you needed our vote before, and now that we do, you have definitely got it, Mr. Sam. Yeah, y'all. It's definitely time to get out and vote. Just on those two experiences that I have had with him. I'm gonna do a little more research before November the 4th, y'all. But I think I'm gonna move on life because I felt like this is a time where I need to know the people that care about our family, care about what's going on in the community, care about what goes on in our neighborhoods, lives in our neighborhoods. Y'all would have never thought that this young man stayed. He's very young, y'all, 24 years old, ready to make an impact in his community. So as I backed away, y'all, we want to talk about everything that's going on these airwaves, but I invite you. I invite you to find out what's going on in your own community. Everybody out here on the platforms talking about the government shutdown. Families not going to be able to eat for Thanksgiving. Families ain't able to eat today. Some of them. By the grace of God, we still got a little bit on this card that we don't know if we should be spending or not, y'all. I asked that question, y'all. If you know, if I need to be using these benefits that are on my card before November 1st, or I'm going to lose access to them. Y'all, please type in the comments. Let me know if it's after the live, if you catch it on the replay, if you know where a link is that can tell us, like, the real guidelines, because you hear so much, you don't know what's true and what ain't, y'all. But if it's somebody out there who knows if I need to get rid of these benefits before November 1st, please let me know, y'all, because I would love to save if I can. But if I can't, y'all just need to know. What else, y'all? RJ, I said RJ's dating, y'all. I'm worried about him. I can say he's a good. My son is a damn good gentleman, so I'm not really worried about that. But I just feel like as a parent, is it my place to say, son, you think you're ready to do a relationship with all these changes going on and having to support people, people losing jobs, and so I don't know, y'all. Just life, y'all know I like to bring it to y'all. What y'all got going on before I decide to get out of here? If you got anything going on, if anything has been on your heart, drop it in there, y'all. Y'all know we do this thing over here for real. Oh, y'all think I was way behind in the comments. I'm so sorry. Let me see. I'm sorry, y'all down there. I'm just talking. V said, is there a way for you to get a side hustle? I know you work already. Oh yeah, absolutely, V. I've been doing it up, y'all. Now, like, life is heavy and hard, and I've been willing, y'all, honestly, to go that much harder. Like, out of work and can be home with my husband and learn him and make sure he heal and get some product out. Yeah, I did a Halloween kickoff, y'all. I've been outside every weekend since the beginning of October, y'all. The actual party is tomorrow. We're having our How You Lean party tomorrow, and then we take all of the kids trick-or-treating in the community together. We have a cookout. The parents, the adults turn up, get our little time in while the kids eating their hot dogs and hamburgers. Give them a candy kickoff, let them put their candies in their bags. I did a custom backdrop and a custom balloon arch for the party. Let them take some pictures. We get our memories. All of the kids go trick-or-treating together. We come back together, and then by 11:30, y'all know what's happening. We'll be in Crown Sports Bar because we do have a costume party, and my product is one of the prizes. So definitely I keep a side hustle. This is fallback season, y'all. It's vendor season. If you ain't catching the vendors outside getting them bargains, oh, you doing it all wrong. Ashley said they just gonna continue BS until it affects them. Absolutely, Ashley. Absolutely. Like, people that's why I had to pull back, y'all, because it's so much stuff on these airwaves. Again, you don't know what to believe, what's not, but like, it's hitting home. You can go outside right now in your community. I don't care about how many people live a certain way. A car doesn't show what's part in their driveway, doesn't show you how they live in. Where you see them live doesn't show you how they live in, because everybody can live. What's going on behind them walls is where it really counts, y'all. A lot of families, honestly, y'all, and it ain't gonna hold you. A lot of families are crashing out, and a lot of households are falling because they trying to pay and use a lot of this stuff to keep up an image that they don't have to keep up online. Just come to the people. Queen do. I can't tell y'all my business. Sure do. B says, just tell him to go slow. Just tell him to go slow and simple. Absolutely, V. I know you're talking about Mr. What's happening going back to work. Um, he's going to, y'all, whether I want him to or not. He's going to, whether I want him or not. So I just ask for y'all continued prayers in that area. My biggest fear is that he's going to re-injure himself. His attorney gave him some things, that he can do while he's going back to work, and gave him some assignments that he needs to just keep an eye out on when he does go back. But he's gonna go. I'll tell him to go. So and honestly, V, I ain't gonna hold you. That's the only way he can go right now, y'all. My baby moving so slow because he in pain and having to use heat on. They took away, y'all. So before he was on like 4 tablets. Now they've taken away 2 of those tablets and replaced it with a muscle relaxer that he has to take with one of the pain meds, just to like not be in pain and be able to move at the same time. Y'all, it don't make sense. It don't make sense. Ashley said, give him the benefit of the doubt. You raised him right. Yes, Ashley, I did. She's a nice girl, y'all. We didn't even invite her to our house the first time. We done invited her to somebody else's house or somebody else cookout, y'all. And the little girl, I can't even call her a little girl, y'all. She's 20 years old. She got over there, y'all, and after the barbecue, she done went in the lady's kitchen and washed up all the dishes and cleaned the countertops down at somebody else's house, y'all. So it seems like she got a good head on her shoulder. She is a high school and a college graduate, so definitely proud of that. Very smart young lady. So y'all stay tuned for that, because y'all, RJ been booed up, and I know he booed up this time with a real girlfriend, y'all, because I asked him when he asked can she come over, and took her out on a date, y'all. But anyway, I was like, so you got a girlfriend now? And he was like, yeah, mom, I do. He's like, yeah, I do. And I was like, oh shit, this is real, y'all. Man down, this is not a test. Sabrina says, big facts. Actually, I just made a meme that said, people don't give a fuck what you're going through until they're going through the same stuff, period. And like I said, half of them probably, I ain't gonna say half, a majority of them probably going through it too. But it's the way of coping. That's the term that the neurologist used with Roger. The way people cope with their pain is by acknowledging others sometimes. And that's just not a good medication to have. Ray Love said, Jesus as the King will declare to his followers who are on his right, come you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. Stay strong. Ray Love, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sabrina says, we're all reflections of each other, which is why it's hard for me to accept weird and goofy behavior, period, because real life is happening to everybody. Absolutely. Absolutely, y'all. That's why I had to back off. And like I told y'all with my health video, like, taking on other people's stuff, like going back and forth with these people. Y'all know out here, I touched some of them demons in real life, girl. I had to let that go. Sometimes backing away, absolutely, I can't accept it, because when she says weird and goofy, it's like people think of them terms like generally, oh, haha, I took a stab at you, weird and goofy. But no, weird and goofy is just like obscene behavior, like just wild, out of the way, something that you would never do to someone that you mutually have respect for, or even just people that you don't know in general. It's about being healthy. That term that says it takes a village, my pastor used to say, it definitely takes a village. And my pastor was very blunt. He would say it takes a healthy village, because anybody can raise a badass. Yeah, it's happening to everybody. Ashley says, Sabrina, and the more it happens, the more insensitive people are getting. Absolutely. Because it's a numbing. I feel like targeting, not really, I don't like to use the term targeting. Like just sitting there constantly talking about other people's tragedies, other people's traumas, other people's life, breaking down other people's stories. It's almost like a numbing mechanism. It's like, when do you have time to actually analyze how what's happening in your real life, in your neighborhood, in your community? When are you taking the time to analyze what's really happening there? I watch people every day on these airwaves who have probably never stepped foot into their community to know how many of the families are struggling and hurting. Meanwhile, I step into my community every day as one of those families who is struggling and hurting, and can tell you exactly how many families that I know of, that I interact with, will be affected in my community. We know exactly what those children's traumas are, what the family's traumas are. Meanwhile, you out here breaking out everybody else. You don't even see your own community. That's why I posed the question on my title, y'all. And it's just a humble question. What you gonna do when the community cries? It's people online, families online, right now, begging for help as a final resort. But you rather talk about it than to do something about it. We have got to do better. Sabrina says, where I'm at now, I either cuss him out. No, that's right. She said, I either curse him out or pray for him. Sometimes I do both, NYC style too, period, y'all. I actually did that one yesterday. And that story is going to be, it's not going to be a story. I don't want to say that because it's happening right now in our life right now. But that's going to be coverage when God says it's time to speak on that. Because I had to curse somebody out yesterday, y'all. Authority. I sure did. I had to curse out authority yesterday, and it got me so mad. And after I did it, I had to reflect that these are still the same people that you have to deal with. So I'm trying to learn how to, in fallback season, I'm still trying to learn how to carve and curb my communication when I get angry. But I had to curse somebody out yesterday, and authority. And I didn't apologize because I don't know. I shouldn't apologize. It'll come later on down the line, I'm sure. Sabrina says, I love that. I don't even remember what it was. Man of the city. Absolutely, Mr. Sam. Shout out to you because I know what he's done for my family, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Ray Love says, the poor in spirit and the faithful, James 2:5, states that God has chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, absolutely, to be heirs of the kingdom, period. Kiana with a Q, I'm so sorry, baby. I don't know how long, if you still in here. Y'all, because I still see a little arrow down here, which means it's more comments, y'all. But y'all know it's been a minute. I needed this. So if you still in the building with me, I thank you so much. Kiana with a Q is in the building. Y'all roll out the royal blue carpet for real. She says, hey, humble and chat, peace and blessings. Thank you so much, baby. V says, we all have a plight in life. That's a fact. Absolutely. Absolutely. V says, we in the season of straightening, period. In real life. In real life, y'all. In real life. And I'm trying to, like, just kind of to wrap kind of this thing up, y'all. I don't want Mr. What's Happening to go back to work. I feel like he should choose himself, as all of us should. I feel like we should choose ourselves when it comes to our health first. But the fact that my head, my husband, him, wants to risk injuring or further injuring himself so he doesn't have to stress about being able to support his family in a government shutdown. Shout out to my husband, for real. Shout out to my 20-year-old son who is growing up, becoming a man, and is ready to date and pour his feelings and emotions and whatever else he got going on into someone that he's ready to choose to share it with. So shout out to my 20-year-old son. Shout out to John, y'all. That joker boy, he been doing a lot. Y'all know John is a first-year college student this year. I've been having to be on his neck a little bit. We do attend the same school, but I still try to give him like the privacy and stuff that he needs, to get his college experience the way he needs to experience it. So I've been on his neck, but he's still in school, y'all. John actually was given a promotion at his job, so he became a shift leader and a key holder. They gave him a $3 raise, which is always dope right here in a government shutdown. So shout out to John. The girls have been running it up, y'all. y'all. We're going to get back to their pictures and videos today, but I did want to get this live off. Um, the girls, we are in Spirit Week, y'all. It is Red Ribbon Spirit Week. And a lot of people were confused about how I guess how I prefer to do my posting on my Instagram, like what Red Ribbon Week is really about. Red Ribbon Week for the city, the theme. I don't know how other many more places are doing it, but Red Ribbon Week is about combating drugs. And every day they've had a theme of, wear your hat, wear your jersey, like whatever the theme is. But each day is like putting a cap on drugs, bringing recognition to saying no to drugs. In our city, actively getting out into the community and giving a message about staying away from drugs. We have families. Y'all know I did a cover story for our city the end of last year. It dropped a couple of months ago, but we did a cover story for our city. Families who are actually ready to take their story and give it to their city to say, hey, don't be an example of this. So we are combating drugs in our city this week. Today for Taraji was pajama day, so we're gonna get up some pajama pictures and shorts here in a second. And then for Tink today, it was Jersey Day. So tomorrow, y'all, is the finale. Taraji gets to wear her Halloween costume. Tink actually is gonna need 2 costumes tomorrow, y'all. So I'm gonna be busy, but I will take y'all live with us for the parade. Tink is gonna be the character in a book that we still have not chosen with all this fabric that we need to get this costume made. But she has to be a character from the book, and just like last year, y'all, we're gonna do a parade through our city, and that's how we are gonna turn up for Happy Halloween. So, with that being said, y'all, I thank y'all for your support. Thank you to everybody who is still in the building with me. Thank you for being here, just going through that. Y'all see, I went through a range of emotions. I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying not to give y'all information that y'all not supposed to have yet, so I can't get in trouble with anybody else that I'm dealing with right now in life. But I thank y'all for just being here. Every time I hit this live button, I know it's not on a regular anymore. But I stand to pose the question to y'all hype stars. What are you going to do when the community cries? With that being said, I have been your hostess with the mostest and sometimes a little bit extra. I am Queen Unique, y'all, and I'm out.